Hello my crafty friends. Well, today we are going to be making this beautiful thank you card, and we're going to be using the Impressions Abloom bundle. So there's stamps and then also the die cuts, and we're also going to be using the Forever Plaid embossing folder. So I'm going to set these things aside. I will need this later. And we're going to be using Blueberry Bushel, and we're also going to be using, I used my color coach here, and I wanted to use Blueberry Bushel, and then we also use Granny Apple Green and Flirty Flamingo. So here's our colors, the Blueberry and the Flirty Flamingo, Granny Apple Green. Easy for me to say, right? All right, so we'll go ahead and get started here. Let's put the envelope away as well. So, like I said, we have Blueberry Bushel in standard card size. So it is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So go ahead and fold this over. And we're gonna try to do all our stamping at once, and then we will do some assembly. And so the inside of the card is, we also stamped it on the inside. And this is 4 by 5 1/4, and then I also had this Blueberry Bushel. I went ahead and embossed this, but this is Blueberry Bushel, and it's 4 by 5 1/4, and then I used the Forever Plaid embossing folder, and then also the die cut here from the Impressions Abloom die cuts to cut this out. And we're going to save this because I'm going to use this next week, so you have to tune in next week to see how I use this extra piece. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside as well. Okay, so now I want to also, we need a white piece of cardstock for this, and I have it at, so it's not quite so thick with double cardstock everywhere. I went ahead and cut this down a little bit, and this is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. So we're gonna use that for our inside piece, and then I need just a scrap piece here to cut these out with. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to do is I want to take this piece that I embossed, and I want to just lay it down here. And so the back side doesn't matter. So if it's a little crooked, it doesn't really matter on the back side. But what I want to do is I want to just lay it here like so. And I want to just draw a little line and pencil around here, so I know where to do my stamping. So I want my flowers kind of right here on here. And so now I know where the curve of my die cut is. So set this aside, and let's go ahead and see. I'm going to stamp this. I'm going to stamp the inside, and I'm going to stamp on my scrap piece of paper here so that I can cut these out. And I've already done the envelope, so I won't have to stamp that. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get started here. And we're going to do what's called generational stamping. So get my pad here. All I'm going to use is Blueberry Bushel for my flowers. So I'm going to start with this, the solid color. Put this aside here. And I'm going to ink this up like so. Make sure it's nice and inked up. And then I'm going to stamp, not on my paper, I'm going to stamp the first generation here, the second generation here, and then I'm going to stamp the third generation like so. And I'm going to do it again for the second flower. And you don't have to stamp right on top of, when you're doing your generational stamping, you don't have to stamp it right on top, but I just, instead of getting blue flowers everywhere, I just decided to stamp it in the same spot. All right, set that aside. And now I want, this is the inside of my card. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to ink it up really good. Stamp it here. It's 1, 2, and then the third time down here. All right, and then one more time on my scrap sheet because I'm going to cut it out with the die cut. And just stamp that here like so. All right. So now I'm going to clean this off because I need to use this block again. So go ahead and get out the detailed stamp. Too many things in the way here. I'll peel this off and I put this on. Now for this detailed stamp, I'm going to use the first generation. So I'm just going to ink it up really good, like so. And this one has kind of, you can see it's kind of a big petal that sticks out. So I'm going to just line up the petal here, like so. There we go. And I'm going to do that on this one. So this is the inside of my card. I think my petal, my line up is off the page, but that's okay. I can line up other things. There we go. And then I'm going to stamp this inside part. So you can line up whatever you want, whatever works well for you. This one just works well for me. And sometimes I hit it right on and sometimes I don't, you know, and that's okay. That's the beauty of a handmade card. It's not mass produced. There's going to be differences from card to card. All right, so I think we're done with the flower. So again, this is the inside of my card. So I'm actually going to go ahead and stamp my inside sentiment on here, which is, so here I had thanks and had so very much. So I'm just going to stamp so very much. Right now I have the blue out. Okay, nice and simple. And then the only other blue that I need to stamp is my thanks right here. I don't know what this is. It keeps getting on stuff. There we go. Stamp that. So what I'm going to do is bring this back out. I'm going to line this back up with my pencil marks. You can see that right there. And then I'm going to just stamp my thanks right here, like so. So that's done. So I think I'm done with the blue. So I'm going to put it away and get it out of the way so I don't stick my finger in it. Okay, the next thing I want to do is the middle part. And again, it's 2 steps as well. It's a base, and then it's got detailed. So we're going to use the Flirty Flamingo. Can't say that today. Sorry about that. So this going to just use the second generation. So I'm going to stamp here, except I didn't get it all inked up. I'm stamp here, and then I'm just going to stamp right here. And again, just stamp in the middle. And then here's our inside. Oops. Oh well. So, like I said, it's handcrafted, so there's going to be little imperfections. All right, so now I want to swap out my stamp here real quick and get the detailed one. So this one we're going to do full strength, so just going to ink it up, go straight down, and then this one, same thing, just ink it up and stamp it down. This one you may not be able to see since I accidentally, not too much, but that's okay. It still looks pretty. All right, so the next thing we want to do is our flowers. So put the Flirty Flamingo, we're going to use Granny Apple Green for that. All right, so what I also did is I made a little mask, so that way when I stamp my flowers on here, it won't be actually on my, when I stamp my leaves on here, it won't actually be on my flowers. So I'm going to do generational stamping for this as well. And I'm going to just stamp here. ahead and there we go. Let's just go ahead and do the background stamp first. So again, I want to line it up so that way when I stamp on top of the flowers, the mask keeps it from actually stamping on your flower. And it's super easy. You just simply, I put this on graph paper, or just stamp your image and then you cut it out right at the lines. And it makes a cool little mask for your stamp image. Oh, having a hard time talking today. Okay, so now we have that. Oh wait, one more on my one I had to cut out. So let's just actually, these are going to be die cuts. So I'm just gonna, and I want 3 of them. So we're going to die cut these out, and then this one is going to be our pop-up here. All right, so now we need detail for our leaves. Use the same blocks and just swap these out real quick. Again, we're going to use this as the first generation, so I'm just going to stamp on top of here, like so. And then I'll need my mask again, so that when I put the detail on here, again, it's not stamping on top of my flower. See, has a nice little look to it. All right, so let's do this one. All right. There we go. And last one here. Okay. All right, so now put that away, and let's see. We'll go ahead and I'm just going to erase my line a little bit here, right in here, and right here. I'll leave a little bit though, because that way I can line it up, and my die cuts will I'll cover up this. So let's go ahead and put some glue on the back of this. I'm just going to put it around the edge here. Then I'm going to get my scrap paper back so I don't get glue on my desk. And then I'm just going to line this up like so. There we go. And then I will go ahead and glue this down to my base. I have glue on it. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn it right side up. And I love the look of this blue on blue, especially when you have it embossed. Just slide it where I want it. Okay. Alright, so now the next thing I want to do is I want to die cut these out. So let me go die cut these and we'll get back in just a minute. Okay, we got these all die cut out, so now let's go ahead and assemble our card. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this in on the inside first. So it goes like this. For some reason I like doing it on the edges here, so I can see where my borders are going to be easy. All right, now let's go ahead and put this flower together. So we want a couple of leaves on one side and just the other leaf on the other side. So let me go ahead and put a little glue here. You don't need a ton because we're only gluing paper to paper. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's put this right here like so. And then put this one like that. And then I'll just put this one down here. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to put some dimensionals on the back. So I'm going to use some of the bigger ones for the main body. Actually, I'm going to put, let's see, that one's sticky already. Put that one there. Go ahead and put this one here. So I didn't use the little ones, I used the big ones on the leaves. Okay, what I want to do too is I want to, this is Flirty Flamingo ribbon, and I want to put that, I'm going to put my flower like so, and I'm going to put the ribbon behind it like that. So I'm going to get me a glue dot wherever I had that there. Oops. Aha. So we'll put a little glue dot here and just glue it down on the back side here, like so. There we go. All right, so I'm going to end up with my flower like this. There we go. Okay. So you can put the ribbon or the bow wherever you'd like. So it's just kind of what suits your fancy. Just gonna put my flower down like so. And now all we need is a little bit of bling and we will be done. So I'm just gonna use some of the rhinestones. And just gonna put one up here. And then one, let's see, right there. And I'll put one there. And there you go. A nice, super easy, quick thank you card. And using the Impressions Abloom and the Forever Plaid embossing folder. So I hope that you enjoyed this, and if you did, please like it and share it with your friends. Have a fun and crafty day, my friends. Thank you.